Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Renee, also known as R4THEARTIST, and if you're new to my channel, I'm an artist, I vlog, I do a little bit of everything on this channel. And if you're returning, welcome back. You a real one. You already know what it is. So in today's video, I will be doing the viral, I don't know if you've seen it, you should have seen it by now, bedazzled, or you want to call Rhinestone Hat. So I'll be using this new era New York fitted hat, and this is the size of it right here. It is a 7.5 centimeter. It's a fitted, not a snapback, but you can do this on a snapback. And it also has a patch on the side right here and just the logo on the back. So this is what it looks like right now. Now I don't really like the brim, so I'm gonna need to shape that because I'd rather it sit like this on my head more so than like this. I just don't like how that looks. So I am gonna have to get something to shape the brim, but for now this is what it's looking like. In addition to the bedazzles or the studs, I actually want to add a patch on here. So I did go shopping for patches. This is one of the patches that I got, and this actually came in a pack of a bunch of roses. And so my thought process is to put it right here on the hat. However, I don't want the hat to be too overwhelming, you know what I'm saying, with rhinestones and patches. So I think I'm gonna leave the patch off this time, and I'll use that on a different type of hat design. I don't know yet because I have to iron that on. So there's that. But you could let me know down below, would you have added the rose patch or just stuck with the bedazzles? All right, so let's get into what you're going to need for this hat. Some of the items that you're going to need to do this do-it-yourself design: obviously a fitted hat, or you can get a snapback. I chose to do a fitted because the structure of it, sometimes with the snapbacks, they kind of, they dent in and stuff. This is just easier. But I am going to stuff this with some plastic grocery bags just to help keep the structure as I'm putting on the studs. So you'll need a fitted hat or a snapback. You're going to need some E6000 clear transparent glue. You can get this from Michael's. I'm sure you can get this from probably Hobby Lobby, Walmart, Amazon, Target, Home Depot, you name it, you can get this. So you'll need some of this. And then of course, the star of the show, rhinestones. So I did end up buying 2 different packs of rhinestones from Amazon. I got this one, which is literally just clear flat back rhinestones. And then I got a multi-pack, which is multiple colors. That's what we're gonna need use for this one. And I got this off of Amazon. They came in these boxes, and I will link these below so that way you guys can find them quickly on Amazon. If you're interested, they will be linked in my description to my Amazon storefront, and you guys can go ahead and get that started. Let's start the bedazzling process. So we're gonna start off by peeling off this sticker because I don't want this on here. I know some people leave their stickers on, but not today. Now I already took the liberty of getting some of the stones together. I'm not really sure how many of these are, but I just kind of like picked through, separated some of the colors, and these are the ones that I'm going to use on the hat for starters. And then if I need more, I'll go back into this bag. Now also, when you're doing this, it'll probably be easier if you have tweezers. I do not have tweezers, so we're just not using tweezers for this. I'm gonna use my hands. But I feel like as long as you have a steady hand, you should be fine. Right? Right. I'm gonna go ahead and play some music, and you guys can just watch me bedazzle. Okay, so as you guys can see right now, I'm just kind of sorting through the bedazzles, and I'm putting them on the brim, placing them where I feel that I may want them. This process, I think that you should definitely take your time. you know, rearrange the colors, see how the colors are looking next to each other before you start to glue. I think that you need to place them down before you start to glue. Now, I started to place them on top of the hat, but again, it's sloped, so you're not gonna be able to just place them how you do on the brim, the way that you do on top of the hat. Once you have the gems placed where you want them, now we're going to start to glue. If you have tweezers, I do think it's going to be easier. However, it really wasn't that hard doing it with my fingers. Now, the E6000 glue, be careful with it because it's super stringy. So what I mean by that is, like, as you're gluing, it's gonna, like, when you lift up the glue, if you see me twirling the bottle, it's because it's really stringy, almost like hot glue. Like, you know how hot glue can leave little string. So for that, I do think that you're gonna need a tweezer. I did end up later on in the video finding a tweezer, and I would just use it after the glue would dry down some. I would use it to just pull the little stringy parts off of the hat. So you will see me at certain points, like, just picking through with the tweezers, pulling off like the stringy parts. Now, when you're placing the glue down and you're putting the rhinestones on top of the glue, you do need to press down on them. So, like, you know, hold it down for a few seconds, make sure it stays in place because it can and will move. So I would suggest doing the brim first, pressing them down, and then letting it dry for like a little bit. So really, it's gonna take about maybe a day or two to completely dry down, I would say, to be safe. But you know, you can let it dry down for like 10 minutes. Don't touch it before you start to work on the little quadrants. At this point, this is where I'm pulling off those stringy glue parts like I mentioned. Sorry I wasn't in the frame, but that's basically what I was doing. I was using the tweezers to take the little stringy glues off. It doesn't really dry down fast, like where it won't come off as far as with the tweezers. So you should take your time, go through and remove all the stringy parts. Now we're moving to the top of the hat. And here you can't necessarily pre-place the gems. So I suggest take your time and, you know, pick which colors you want, use your tweezers, take off the stringy parts, and like really look at the placement, look how the colors look next to each other, and kind of work around from there. Because the hat is sloped, you're going to need to glue it down, and you should hold it. And I learned that as I was going because they started to slide. So when you're on the actual hat itself, you're going to have to work a little bit slower. This video is sped up, so it looks like I'm moving fast. I am not moving this fast. So, you know, glue, press it down, hold it in place for a little bit because they will slide, and pay attention as you're going because, again, they will start to slide. So I just took my time, went through both of these little pieces because, you know, the hat is kind of cut in 6 pieces on top, and I would, you know, take my time, press them down, take off the little stringy parts of the glue, look at my color placement because I didn't want to put 2 blues in the same place, 2 reds in the same place. So I was also paying attention to that, like how I was dispersing the colors along the hat. You know, this process was fun. I want to say that it probably took me in total maybe like 2 hours to actually do this. I ended up running out of rhinestones, which you're not going to see in this video, but I did have to order another pack. But that's just because of how many I used in each of those little triangle pieces on top of the hat. If you spread out your gemstones more than I did, you're not going to have to order another one, but I didn't disperse them like that. I ended up using a lot. I ended up having to order another pack, and not that I emptied the pack that I had, but more so because I wanted to use the same color scheme, and I ran out of these colors in that multi-pack. So that's why I ordered another pack. At this point, I was trying to see if I wanted to add this rose, but I felt like it would have made it a little too busy and I didn't want it to look so busy. So I decided to not go with the rose, but stay tuned to my channel because I will be doing another hat where I'm just gonna do patches. Not as many as these rhinestones, but I'm gonna do a cute little patch design with some roses. So if you like videos like this, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel because I will be back with some more cute hat designs that you can do yourself. And you all can let me know down below whether or not you would have added the rose patch with the rhinestones. I felt like it was doing too much, but maybe not. Maybe you guys felt like it's something that you would do. If you guys do decide to recreate the hat, tag me. I want to see your creations. I'm not the originator of this. This hat was created by, I believe, somebody out of New York. But regardless, I would still love to see how you guys recreate your rhinestone hats if you decide to do this. And yeah, let's just keep the creativity going. So this is the finished product of the hat. This is months later. The rhinestones have been lasting. None have fallen off. If you like this video, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.